What's going on, guys? We're back with another episode of Redshirts with Isaiah Manning and Jace Posey. And today we have with us two-time state champion, Duncanville valedictorian. I think 26-0 in the playoffs or whatever. When he was at the school, probably lost like 2 or 3 games the entire time. With us here, Jackson Prince.
What's going on, fellas?
How you doing today?
Doing good, man. Appreciate y'all having me on, man.
That's good. So, we wanted to get Jackson on here, kind of talk about his journey. It's much different, obviously, from both of ours. So I think where we want to start today was, you just started your road to Crater League. Tell us kind of how's that going? What's that process been like for you?
Yeah, so as y'all know, I hit the transfer portal. There was a lot of things outside of my control that happened there, and I decided to kind of stick with the content stuff. Is what I love doing. I love doing it as much as basketball. So kind of was looking into it, saw the whole Creator League thing. Figured it was something I could actually play in because, y'all know, I'm a talented basketball player. So, talent-wise, it's not an issue. But from a social media standpoint, I just don't have, enough yet. Mm-hmm. So that's why I started Road to Creator League and posting every single day, sometimes twice a day. Man, and since I've started it, which I'm only, 2 weeks in now, it's already, taken off pretty well. So, yeah, man, hopefully get some exposure from them and, yeah, hopefully, next season I'll be playing in the Creator League.
So what is a Creator League?
Thanks.
Yeah, so Creator League is ran by House of Highlights, and it's essentially all of social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, the top basketball influencers. So Cam Wilder, Tristan Jazz, J-Dub, they all play in this league. And I believe I think it's a co-ed, male and female.
Right, it is.
Yeah, so... yeah, it's just all of the influencer stuff and the social media content from it is just really good. And it's something cool to put on your brand resume.
So is it 1v1s, 5-on-5, tournament style?
A little bit of everything. So
Right,
the thing that actually caught my attention was they have this end of year tournament called the Creator Cup. And they actually go to Vegas during NBA Summer League and they play on the Summer League court. Right before... I think they were playing, the championship game was right before the Summer League championship game or something like that. And I just think that's cool, bro. That's pretty sick. So, yeah, no, that was one of the main draws to it for sure.
So I kind of wanted to ask, how did you really get into content creation? You talk about it kind of rivaling basketball, something you love to do. And I didn't see you really doing that much at all in high school, kind of coming towards the end of it. It just blew up. So how'd you get into that?
Yeah, man. So, y'all know I went to Duncanville. And Zay, you know her for sure, Britt. She was kind of our social media person or whatever. And by the time we all left, we were all camera trained and she's the GOAT, dude. When it comes to having brand people for high school athletics, she was the first one.
Facts.
So she was super integral in all the content and everything. And she was always telling me, Jackson, you're really good on camera. People love you, yada, yada, yada. And she was like, you need to start a podcast. You need to start doing social media. This was my junior year of high school. I didn't have Instagram my junior year of high school.
I did not know that.
I downloaded it November of my junior year. And I remember I got 150 followers the first night. And I thought I was big. I thought I was killing it. And she was just kind of yeah, you need to start putting yourself out there, and all these things. And she was really helping me lay the foundation for it. Well, going to, once I got offered by Texas, I had a lot of conversations with Chris Beard because he was the coach who recruited me. And he was telling me, yeah, man, the NIL at Texas is different. And because of that, we want you to actually make the most of it, especially me going down there as a walk-on. That was important. So he was like, yeah, man, keep doing your social media stuff. I want, once you get down here, you should go ahead and, start a podcast and get people's attention and, all of these things. There's just endless benefits to it. So I think towards the end of my junior year, I went to, our media teacher or whatever, and I told him, hey, I'm trying to record some videos. Here's what I have in mind. Give me your best people. And there was a couple guys who had just won state for, corporate commercials was their, category or whatever. Right. So yeah, I started working with them and they taught me a bunch of camera stuff, taught me how to, actually put videos together, edit them. And it started as a 2-person team and it ended up being 6 or 7 people. And I had a guy for audio, thumbnails, you know, I had a camera technician, an audio guy, and it was a lot of fun. So that whole process was throughout my whole senior year, and I just really took advantage of it. And then once I got to Texas, it just blew up.
So
yeah.
when you produce these videos, how long is the editing process? Is it you? Is it a team?
Yeah. So right now it's just me. I would say for the pod, if we do like a 55-minute episode, the editing from the moment I sit down at the computer to the time I have all of the clips done, captioning, SEOs, thumbnails, everything, maybe 3.5 hours.
That means you're moving very effectively.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I have systems in place where it's like I have an intro video or whatever. It's already done. I don't have to recreate the video every time, so I just drop it in there. And there was a lot of like things that I did in early episodes where I just got rid of them because my whole thing with content is like done is better than perfect. And I've like for anyone who's like interested in making content, just putting it out is the main thing because no one's really going to trip if like the colors aren't perfect or the scripting isn't perfect.
This is why I'm so happy we got you on here too, because what it seems like you've done a great job of is just like learning about what you're trying to do. And you got this information, you know, about like, you got to get this content out. Don't worry about this, worry about that. So what else as far as kind of this content creation lane that you've taken, that you see us trying to kind of step into right now? What advice do you just have for people on how to be effective with it?
Man, consistency, for one. You're never going to blow up unless you post, you know. I mean, right now I have something like 250 reels on my Instagram, which comparatively for who I'm trying to compete against is not a lot.
Right.
So for you guys, I mean, just being as consistent as possible, getting out as many clips as possible. If I were y'all, I would actually look at having, you know, obviously like collaborating on posts and things of that nature, but like having other people post your clips on their platforms and engaging in their audiences. And like, that's the first thing. Second thing is just keep having fun with it. Like the reason I do the podcast and I'm already 20 episodes deep is because I love it. I genuinely love doing this. Talking to other hoopers, talking to other college athletes, sports professionals. Like, I plan on doing that for a very long time. So, yeah, man, as long as y'all keep having, like, I already watched a couple episodes, y'all straight. Like, just keep doing what you're doing.
Gotcha. So, kind of going backwards, most of the time we start with a guy, we start in their intro to basketball. We started with you, kind of current day. So, moving back to your time at Texas, what was it like kind of from the moment I think I saw the video where you got the offer. You're talking like PV, I want to say.
Yeah.
So talk me through that moment, you know, signing, commitment, all that, and just your time at UT.
Yeah, so time at UT was different than what a lot of people experience in college. So I get the call from PV. I'm doing some homework. At this point, we had just won state my junior year.
Right.
And, you know, that was on the team with Anthony Black and Ron and all those, Ashton, all those guys. We had just won state. 2 weeks later, I'm doing some homework. I get a call from PV. He's like, hey, man, you know, Chris Beard wants to offer you a spot at Texas. And like, I was a good high school basketball player and I played on some really good teams, but Texas was like not a school I was thinking about going to. Like, I was like, okay, Rice is probably, you know, if I could swing like a Stanford, that would be awesome. Texas was not a thought really. So getting that call was really cool. And everyone thought that I was going there because that video blew up.
Right, it did.
It got like 20 million impressions on Twitter or something crazy. And so everyone was like, oh, he's going to Texas, whatever. Me, though, I was like, y'all know how it is. Like, you get an offer, you don't want everyone thinking that you're committed there. Like, you want to you want to get some more and see what. So everyone always tells you, like, after that first one, you're going to get a bunch more. Well, I go like 3 months and I'm like, my phone is not ringing. Like, but yeah, man. So, you know, I ended up getting like SMU and Boston College and a couple others and still ended up choosing Texas. Pretty easy decision at the time. After I committed to Texas, the whole Chris Beard situation went down and he ended up getting fired. And I remember being really stressed out and like Ron had committed there and then he decommitted.
Facts.
And it was just, it was a process, man. And I remember watching them in the tournament, praying that they played well so that way RT would get the job because I knew if RT got the job,
you want to go.
I'd be straight.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'd still have a spot and everything. In hindsight, should have thought about that a little bit more. But I mean, we can get into it if y'all want me to. But so yeah, I mean, we get down there, or I get down there, everything seems cool at first. Obviously, it's like you playing at a Power 5 level. Y'all know. Like, it's
nice.
Austin is incredible playing at the Power 5 level. It's every kid's dream. Like, first game, we're in Moody. It's packed out. Like, it's lit.
I wish we played that last year.
No, it is crazy because they had like
Yeah.
Drake concerts
Yeah.
there. Like, that's
Yeah.
really
Well,
insane.
one of the first things that we went to
was that concert, right?
Well, we went to Drake, we went to Lil Baby, we
my
went to ACL where we saw Kendrick, and it was like it was sick. Like some of the
insane.
perks of it were dope. But really, that's where some things for me personally started to kind of go south. It was kind of early, and it was little stuff at first.
Was it basketball things or not?
At first, it was off court. So I get down there in the summer. I'm playing really well. Like, obviously, there was a talent disparity. There was an athletic disparity. But for me, like, I was being Jackson Prince. Like, if I was open, it was going down. So, and I was not, like, or, like, afraid to pull the trigger. If I was open, I was shooting it. And y'all know that's what I do best.
Right.
So, yeah, man, it was off-court things at first. And it was little stuff. Like, we would go to the Lil Baby concert, and I'd get a call a couple hours before, and, you know, one of our team, like, front office guys, whatever, they'd be like, oh, we didn't have enough tickets, so, like, you're going to have to go sit in this section. And I was, like, sitting up there by myself. And it's like, am I tripping about it? No. I'm still going to see the Lil Baby concert for free. Okay, cool, whatever. Couple months go by. It's like a couple other little things that happened. Man, Christmas comes around, and we go have our Christmas break or whatever, and we come back, and everyone in the locker room, most of the guys in the locker room were joking around about how, you know, our head coach had sent everyone like an individual Merry Christmas text, like a paragraph. And I'm like, y'all got a text? And then everyone's like just looking at me. And then I look at, you know, Preston, who's another walk-on. He's like, I didn't get a text either. And what we saw was none of the white guys on the team, except for Brock, got like none of us got like a text. So we were all just like, whoa, that's a little whatever. But still, though, that's like comparatively, that's a little thing.
Right. Comparatively to what you're about to continue with?
Yeah. Like it just kind of snowballed, and it kind of felt. It felt like I was being ostracized from the group.
By your teammates or?
But no, I had the best teammates ever. So like I was told midway that I couldn't travel during conference play,
Right.
which was like heartbreaking, super frustrating because I had actually traveled the first 3 games of conference play. Like I went to West Virginia, went to Cincy, like it was great. So it was maybe a week before we played y'all.
That's what I was going to ask.
This story.
Yeah. So like and man, shout out Dylan Mitchell, man. He is one of the best teammates I've ever had, like genuinely. He, you know, I didn't have a car at the time because my car had broken down. It was up here. We're down in Austin. We're about to play y'all at TCU. And I was about to catch a Greyhound and just go sleep with my parents or whatever, and like then go to the game, beat them back to Austin. Well, when I told the guys I was taking a Greyhound up there, Dylan Mitchell was like, bro, what are you doing? Like, Uber's outside. So he had bought me like a $350 Uber up there. And then I ended up flying back. And it was like, that's
lit.
Yeah, like that's a definition of a good teammate. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously he does well financially, so like it wasn't an issue for him. But I wouldn't like that. You know
He's
what I'm
just
saying?
looking out, you know?
Yeah, it's just good teammate stuff. Good, like he wasn't a veteran, but like it was his second year there. He was looking out for his young cat. So yeah, man. And there were some issues with being told that I couldn't travel. Like I couldn't even go to the Big 12 tournament, which again, heartbreaking. I couldn't go to the NCAA tournament. Now, what I was being told at first was that, oh, the Big 12 had a rule against like redshirts traveling and whatever. I was like, okay, I see other redshirts traveling though.
Right.
So I'm a little confused, but whatever. In my head, and y'all know, I'm not a complainer. Like both of y'all have played with and against me.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Like I don't complain.
Yeah.
Whatever gets thrown at me, it's like I'm going to face it head on and just move on. So I get told I can't go to the NCAA tournament, and like I'm really frustrated, really confused. And this was after I was told I would be able to travel there.
Right.
So, and we even had a guy who quit right before the Big 12 tournament. And it was like, okay, travel shouldn't be an issue. Like we had 16 guys, guy quit, we had 15. I should be able to travel.
Thanks.
Didn't. But before that, you know, I was a walk-on, so I had to get school paid for. Now, like you said earlier, I was valedictorian at Duncanville, so my tuition was taken care of for my first year. But my second year, there was no whatever. And we only did one team NIL deal the whole year. So it wasn't like I had all this money at the time. So I go to my coach, go to one of my assistant coaches. I say, hey, man, here's exactly what I need for next year. Like, it's 10 grand. You know, I have this much saved up, whatever. I just need another 10 grand so that way I can make sure I'm straight for next year. Well, he's like, this is when I knew it was like something was wrong. He goes, well, you know, that's the misconception about Texas is like everyone thinks that we have this big pool of money to hand out to our guys. And I was just kind of looking at him like, yeah, but that's true though. But like, okay, whatever. And he asked me, he goes, if we're not able to help you, would you be able to get it done on your own? And I thought back to what Chris Beard was telling me. Hey, make sure that you're doing the content, get a brand. That way you can maximize your NIL. So between Beard telling me that and that conversation that I had with my assistant coach, content was a no-brainer.
Right.
So I really dug into the content, started getting some brand deals. And I'd actually, between all the brand deals that I gotten done, I did 20 brand deals in like 6 months.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I was putting in work. Like 5 hours a day was dedicated to content. Between me balancing school and balancing being a D1 athlete. So saved up all of this money or whatever, and it looked like I was going to be good. We go through the NCAA tournament, lose to Tennessee, second round. They come back home. I'm working out in the facility a couple days later. Head coach calls me into the office or whatever, and he calls in his assistant coach. And when he called in the assistant coach, I knew there was like something up because we were all having end-of-year meetings, like I'm sure y'all did. So I sit down, and he's just kind of talking to me, you know, I don't know the situation with your recruitment. I don't know what kind of stuff you had set up with Beard. And like, he recruited you. Like, we didn't really recruit you, but like, we kind of kept you around as a favor and out of respect to Beard. And I was like, oh, like this all makes sense now.
Right.
You know? And it was a very tough conversation. The part that made me most upset, though, because I get all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I wish you guys would have told me at first. Y'all gave me an opportunity. Y'all don't think I'm a good fit. I can accept that. Because I did everything by the book. Like, I did it right. So the assistant coach starts talking. Man, I've never been called a bad teammate before. Like, I've never. You played with me.
Yeah,
was I a bad teammate?
Nah, not at all.
Like, you've played against me a lot. Has it ever looked like I was a bad teammate? So he's telling me, we don't like how you were using UT to supplement your brand, and we feel like because you were so adamant about social media, we feel like you weren't focused on basketball. Therefore, we think you're a bad teammate. Whoa. That's to look a grown man in the eyes and have him tell you, like a dude that you had a good relationship throughout the year, never felt like there was any issues with that relationship. So he's sitting here telling me this, and I'm not gonna lie, like I was on like the verge of tears. So I like stood up, shook both of their hands, thanked them for the opportunity, told them I was gonna transfer, and I walked out. And there was a couple staff members that I had really good relationships with. At least I thought I did. So effectively, I got cut. That's really what happened. So I left, and I go weeks without hearing anything from anyone. Like, no one checked up on me except for our like chaplain. He checked up on me, and then our academic advisor checked up on me. Outside of that, couple guys from most of the guys from the team checked in or whatever. But as far as the coaches and the staff, I didn't hear anything. And that was tough, bro. Like, this is actually the first time I'm saying this on camera. Like, so y'all getting it first.
Appreciate that though. You know, giving us the real.
Yeah,
story.
man. Well, it's time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've waited long enough. Now it's time for me to I feel like God wouldn't have put me through all of that stuff if I wasn't supposed to share it.
Facts.
Because that's the truth, bro. Like, that's the truth behind this D1 sports thing is it's a business, and as an individual, like, you're expendable and you're replaceable. So that was
What it is.
Facts.
like, y'all know that. And y'all didn't even have to go through that to know that. But, man, it was just humbling, bro. Humbling. And started really leaning on my faith, leaning on God. And the story don't even end there. So I'm in the portal. I'm calling coaches. Coaches are calling me.
Right.
It looks like I'm going to go somewhere within the next couple weeks. I'm not going to say who the school or who the coach is.
Right.
But I'm really about to go to this one school. Like, I'm packing my bags, getting ready to go. Like, no visit necessary, dream situation. And very high profile head coach. Well, I don't hear back from them for maybe a week or two. And they were calling me every other day. And I asked my high school coach, who has a good relationship with this head coach. I asked him, like, hey, man, have you heard anything? He goes, no, I don't know. I'm going to see him this weekend at EYBL. Let me chop it up with them. Okay. Weekend goes by. I go talk to Peavy. Peavy goes, yeah, man, he's excited about you and like there's some other stuff going on. But he said Texas is killing you, man. I'm like, what you mean? He goes, yeah, man, all the coaches down there saying that you're like a bad kid and like you're not a good basketball player. You're a bad kid, bad teammate, and like you shouldn't be recruited. At the beginning of my recruitment, I had talked to 7 schools, all of which were interested in having me. A month and a half in, I didn't hear from any of them, like ever again. So I'm just like, I'm losing my mind, and I'm like really trying to keep my composure because I'm not a bad kid. I'm not a bad dude. Like, y'all know this. So tough, bro. It was very, very tough process, but I just realized maybe I outgrew the whole college basketball thing. You know what I'm saying? And like, this is happening to me for a reason. Like, I'm going to be fine. So it was tough, man. It was really tough. Went through the whole process. I stopped trying maybe 2 weeks ago, and I just paid my tuition to UT. And like, I'm taking all online classes this semester. So it's like, I'm still up here in Dallas, still doing the podcast stuff. Decided to do the Creator League thing. And yeah, I mean, that's the whole last year in a nutshell, man. Crazy ride.
Year. Would you do it again?
The thing I would do differently is a little bit more due diligence. I made way too many assumptions on the front end. And, I can handle, if someone were to say that I wasn't a good enough basketball player to play at Texas, that's okay. I'm a 6-foot white kid. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I'm not going to trip about that.
It was the teammate piece.
It was the teammate thing, though, man. Yeah. Like, it bothers me. It just really bothers me. Because I take pride in being a good teammate. Would I do it again? I would just do more due diligence on the front end. In hindsight, knowing what I know now, I would have went to SMU and just tried to make that work. Because the financial piece was big, because SMU is expensive. Right. But, yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I would have gone to SMU and I would have made it work. Yeah.
And it's interesting because, one, I just appreciate you coming on here and telling us all these things, because I think, you have a much more relatable story to most people in a sense of, not everybody's blessed with having some of the abilities that Jace has, 6'4", 40-inch vertical. Not everybody gets to be 6'7", You had to lock in from, like you said, being the white kid that, they're going to say, oh, he's the white kid, he can't do this, defense, whatever. Yeah. And you had to just lock in on your skill set, develop the ability to be able to shoot the ball. And so your story is much more relatable to everybody. And so, like, what you're telling us right now is just the truths of what this situation is like.
Yeah. Like, really that's why I feel like I went through it, is to share it. So that way other cats, because I get messages from 5'8" to 6'2" white kids. Right. Daily.
Makes sense.
So it's like, I went through all of this so they wouldn't have to. And they can really understand what the business is about. And, it's like, I'm not bashing Texas, man. I'm still going to cheer for them. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any bad blood down there or anything. Played with some incredible players who are awesome teammates. And like, there's people on staff there that I, still have a decent relationship with. But, I think going back in the spring is going to be tough, like just from a mental standpoint. Right. Like knowing I'm good enough to play, But yeah.
I mean, I feel that. And like you say, good enough to play, You were talking about how you get that Texas offer and immediately your recruitment started to look weird because people assumed you were going there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one, I can relate to that a ton. With my dad being a TCU professor,
Right.
I get that offer. I live 20 minutes away. Everybody's just like, oh, he's done going there.
Yeah.
Kind of ruined my stuff. But then two, I knew coaches that wanted to recruit you.
Yeah.
Like for Southern Assault, Coach Deal, he's the head coach at SAG-U.
Yeah.
He was like, Jackson. This is why I was so surprised with the teammate stuff. He was like, he's literally the valedictorian, which we got to talk about that next.
Yeah.
He's this, like, you might not be in the game, you standing up at the end of the bench, clapping, doing whatever. Mm-hmm. We need this kind of dude, but we're just scared because of the UT thing.
Yeah.
To even jump in the mix early on.
And they called me late, too. They did. Yeah. Man, shout out Coach Deal. Like, good dude.
Amazing dude.
Really, really, like, genuinely a good dude. Man, the whole valedictorian thing, that's another piece where I'm like, I'm going to say I'm a bad kid.
Like, the walk-on has to be the kid with the good grades.
Like, how? You know what I'm saying? How? So, whatever, though. Like, so, yeah, man, I was valedictorian. I knew I wasn't planning on being valedictorian my freshman year. I knew I had a shot, but I didn't care until the middle of my sophomore year. Yeah, man, so, like, teacher told me, yeah, man, you're valedictorian right now. You keep doing what you're doing. Like, you're going to get it. It's like, all right, I guess I'll do it. Like, and my dad was always telling me, if you're going to do something,
you got to do it.
Do it.
Right.
And he told me in third grade, he was like, if you're going to put our last name on something, it better be the best. Which is why I take such attention to detail, whether it be school or basketball or my content. Like, I try to make everything top notch because I was instilled with that early. So,
how much time did, like, school take off from everything else, like just the social life and basketball?
Man, social life was interesting because all of my friends were basketball.
Right.
And, in high school, like, you get those one or two blow-off classes. Maybe not you. You went to a college prep. But,
I mean,
you probably did still.
Yeah.
It wasn't the hardest class.
Yeah, like, Duncanville's a good school. But it's an athletic school.
Right.
So classes weren't too bad. I actually had my dad as a teacher because he teaches AP Physics. So that was interesting. But, yeah, I always had one of those two blow-off classes or whatever, and I would just do all my homework then. And
that probably made it easy to not.
And I was doing homework during lunch, and my whole senior year, I was waking up at 4:15 in the morning, and I would wake up, eat breakfast, go to LA Fitness, lift, shoot, or I would lift, go to school, shoot, shower, do homework for an hour before classes started.
What time does classes start?
7:30.
That's
I was
crazy.
locked in, bro. Like,
boom.
I was locked in. I had the gun. I left the shooting gun up, ready to go at night, so that way I could just roll it in and then just go. Senior year, I was a different beast. I couldn't do that now, but, like, I was a different animal. I was just motivated, So, yeah, I mean, that was when, and I actually ended up finishing with what I was told was the largest margin of victory in school history between my 1 and 2. And my 2 is actually at Yale right now, and my 3 is at Duke. So, like, tough top three. Yeah, and it was the first time we had, like, a valedictorian, salutatorian male pairing in like, I don't know, like 40 years or something. Yeah, so it was just pretty cool to be a part of. Yeah, I mean, the speech was probably the singular, like, coolest moment of my life. Yeah.
So tell me about that.
Well, we were at Globe Life Field, and, like, Duncanville's huge. We got what? I mean, in my graduating class, it was, like, basically 1,200 kids.
Okay.
So they all got their whole families there. It's probably, by the time I'm giving my speech, it's probably 6,000 people, and I'm standing on home plate at Globe Life. And
that's fire.
It's tough, bro. Like, it's tough. And, like, I'm not one to, like, boost myself up, but I killed that speech, though. Like, yeah.
You give the vibe that you could give a good speech.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I worked on it for freaking 3 years. Like, it had to be good,
So how do you, like, the public speaking? Because
right.
I had to give a public speech in my class of 15 people. This is not my favorite thing to do. So how do you face that fear? How do you take steps?
Is it even a fear?
It's not a fear.
For some people, it's not.
I want to sell out Madison Square Garden. Like, that's one of my, like, speaking on stage, selling out Madison Square Garden. Like, that's one of my big life goals. Public speaking's never been much of a fear. Do I get nervous? Yes. I almost threw up before the valedictorian speech. Like, I get nervous, but that's how I know I'm ready.
Are you ready because you're prepared, or you just like?
I mean, I could, if you give me a topic, I could wing a speech. I could wing a 4-minute speech in front of 10,000 people, at any given point.
I think they're just people like that.
It's God-given ability. That's what it is. Like, I was given the ability to speak, which is why I like doing the podcast and stuff. It's what I do. So,
facts.
Yeah.
This is kind of like when you were talking about how your junior year, everybody was like, yo, bro, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, as I start, like, having these mic'd up videos coming out of me and stuff, people like, you know, Isaiah, like, you just talk a lot. Like, you just know how to talk. And I feel like there's just people like us that just, like, you just really like talking. You could get on there and talk about something. Because I was not planning out speeches. Like, last year, I took this communications class. I'm in there, LeBron speech, 4 minutes with evidence, no preparation. I'm just like, you know, he came back from 3-1. He's the GOAT.
Oh, see, here we go, bro.
You gonna do that, bro. Man?
Here we
had
go,
a nice little episode.
Going. I think. Okay, I think he's the best player of all time.
I can respect. This
I don't
angle.
think he's the greatest.
I can respect this angle.
I don't think he's the greatest. I think Steph is a greater player than LeBron.
See, I can't go with that at all.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
I think Jordan is the greatest player. But no, LeBron is the best player. I mean, the numbers are right there, and he's been killing it for 21 years. Like, it makes sense. My dad is a LeBron hater. I used to be a huge LeBron hater.
I can see that.
At some point, you just like he just wins. You know, like I don't.
He just wins.
No, that's real though.
At some point, like
Yeah.
I was a huge LeBron hater. I've called him soft, but like when I study him though, like his mind for the game is crazy.
Insane.
Like
Yeah.
you can't do nothing but love him. And like I don't know. So yeah, I mean I think he's the best player of all time.
So LeBron being a pro, you've played against some pros and
just
played
about to
with
ask
some
that.
pros. What are some things that they have that the average person doesn't? That what do you see in them?
Athleticism, bro.
No,
Like,
for real though. For real.
athleticism.
These Devo dudes
Like,
be crazy.
bro, you play with Anthony Black. Like, dude gets a rebound and goes and dribbles it the full length of the court and dunks it in like 3.7
2
seconds.
bro.
Like, what the hell are you going to do with that? You can't do anything. And then Ron, it's like, he does the same move. He dribbles up with the right, overcrosses to the left, and goes and punches that joker. Like, that's, bro, but who's going to guard it, though? Like, so freak athleticism. And then just the mental side of the game. Not even IQ, but just like the approach to every game.
Yes.
Like, Ron had a routine. AB had a routine. I mean, like, all of these guys have deep routines. And I think at Duncanville, we all kind of developed that.
Right.
But that's what we were, like, accustomed to. That's what we
These
saw.
routines more like, oh, I'm going to listen to these types of songs, or I'm doing some type of like activation step before the game.
Kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, so I would say me and Ron did a lot of our routine together. He was my roommate on the road, and he actually ended up being one of my best friends that senior year.
Right.
And it helped that we were both looking at going to Texas.
Right.
Man, I would say he was always listening to like some old like Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah,
Like
he
he
be
was
on
always
that.
listening.
He be on
He was
that.
listening to something like smooth, and I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? But like, my music taste has changed a lot. So I would listen to a lot of that stuff with him before games, and then for me it was like I'm gonna make 400 shots on game day.
Facts.
Yeah, like I'm gonna get these shots up. And for him, it was really stretch, make sure his body's good to go, some little touch shots, whatever. But come game time, it was like he just, in practice, it didn't seem like he was the best player on the court. But bro, like come game time, he might be the best player I've ever played with, I think.
I'll probably, I mean, I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, dude's a different animal. And like AB, if he could shoot the way he did in 5th grade, like 5th grade, he was a shooter. Like, but he's not that now. But like,
Well, little bro kind of looks like that though too.
Beckham got a chance, bro. Beckham got a chance to be the best player out of Duncanville ever.
That's a lot of credit to give.
It is a lot.
to
Yeah,
give a
that's, I
sophomore
know,
kid right
I
now.
know. But
So
like,
that means he got to have something.
bro, he was beating us in ones when he was in like 7th grade. Like,
Who was
That's,
us?
that's nice. Yeah, who is us?
no comment.
no
no,
comment.
I mean, he got me. I mean, he got a number of
See,
different
this is what I
dudes,
want to
like-
hear.
Like, I'm trying to think. Because he would come and practice with us. Because we would practice Saturday mornings at 6 a.m. Yeah, in high school. Yeah.
Yeah, we was on that too though. Mitch was, yeah.
But, like, y'all had a really good high school program,
did.
though. Y'all almost beat us on our senior night,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I wanted to ask you
See,
about next.
come on,
'Cause
bro.
That was your last high school game, right?
Yes.
Last
Because we
high
didn't get to
school
play in
game
playoffs.
ever. we had a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that y'all probably don't even know about. But I want to hear about this game from y'all senior night, all that last game.
Okay, bro. So my 2023 class, I think it was 8 of us who were there from day one,
Right.
freshman year.
Facts.
Like, we had gone through everything. And most dudes still don't even know everything that went down. Like, UIL tells us AB can play. So we play him, and we had a team vote. Like, PV was on the bus, and he asked us after our third round win, he goes, are y'all cool if I sub in AB knowing what the risk we're taking is? And we were all like, man, start him.
Everybody?
Everyone. I would say probably 95%. There was 2 guys who were like, nah. But
Interesting.
those 2 guys didn't play anyway, so it was like, whatever. but everyone who was like a real integral part of the team was like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's my guy.
that's our dog. You know what I'm saying? So that leading up to that, months after we beat McKinney by 20 in the state championship game, they go and take it away. And then like our superintendent goes, yeah, you know, Coach Peavy's being suspended. And on top of this,
The band.
yeah, well, the ban wasn't from UIL. It was from our superintendent. He came to us and said, yeah, we're going to forfeit y'all's right to play in playoffs this year. Bro, we were all like getting ready to like cuss him out. Like,
No, that's crazy.
because and I went to him later and I said, look, man, you're the superintendent of the city of champions, but you're not even giving us a chance to
No, that's crazy.
be champs. Like, what are you doing? Like, he wasn't there the next year. So like, cool. But no, I mean, we were pissed. So like that senior night game,
Right.
we had gone to hell and back. You know what I'm saying? We doing all this traveling stuff. At one point we were number 1 in the country. You know, we had just won so many big games. And that senior night game, it didn't hit us until right before the game. And we were all like, most of us were crying. And
That was your last game.
it was hard, bro. Like, I was crying, you know what I'm saying? I was frustrated and upset or whatever. I was mad that we had to play y'all because y'all were the second best team in the district, I would say. But I was like, all right, whatever. Like, we're going to go out here. We're going to beat these dudes probably by double digits, probably like 15. Like, no disrespect.
No, yeah,
but
that's
that's
what you
how
go
we
in
were
thinking,
doing
yeah.
everyone. It was like, but like 15, that's a respectable loss against our teams.
Facts.
Like, we were stupid, you know? So I was like, okay, we're going to come out here, beat these dudes 12 to 15. It'll be fine. Bro, y'all came out hooping.
We
and
did
for
come
what?
out hooping.
Bro, I'm talking.
We did come out.
Jace, I'm
open.
talking, we're down 4 at half. I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? And I couldn't hit a shot to save my life. I had like 2 threes that game, and I shot like 7.
What was said in the locker room?
We ain't going out like that.
You
Like,
know
we,
what's crazy?
Like we ain't going outside, you
What
know?
was in y'all's
Like,
locker room?
yeah, to see both sides of this is crazy because, like, their culture matters. And so what I want to ask you about next is PV and about Duncanville's culture because I feel like he's probably the best high school basketball coach like ever.
He's the best coach I've ever played for, ever.
You see what I'm saying? And so I
Yeah.
got to ask about that because even though Mitchell is an absolutely amazing coach and our culture from him was great, dudes just like weren't on the same page. Like I'm going into this game like I'm a forward. I played with Ron. I think I'm better than Ron. I got to go out here and try to, go up
See, we
against
talked
this
about
matchup.
that too.
You see what I'm saying?
We talked about that too. I was actually the one telling Ron, hey man, Zay out here telling folks he better than you, bro.
Like, you
Like,
feel me?
like don't let the nah, bro. Like, no disrespect to you, but
No,
I
but
was
like,
like,
it's
nah,
competition.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, you supposed to be number 1 in the country, man.
Facts.
Fuck this dude, like, come on, bro, lock in.
So like this is what I'm on before this game. I got the beats on. I'm like, yo, I'm about to go out here. I'm about to hoop. Bro, the little homies is at Wingstop with a 20 wings.
I heard about
All
that.
the fries.
JB told me this. Jaden.
One of the little homies stealing from Walmart. He getting caught. He caught up with the police. This is what we do right before the Duncanville game. I'm like, bro, why are y'all not locked in? They like, the game don't count. We already got our seed. I'm like, bro, this is probably Sports Center next coming out to these games. I'm trying to hoop. Like, I'm trying to show something.
Nah, we had everyone at that game, bro.
And
like
dude,
everyone.
the disconnect between guys is what hurt us. Like me, Amir, Amari, JB, and even my little brother, this was just a group of guys that were real locked in. Bro, we looking at some other dudes in key moments and they just like tweaking out, bruh, selling.
So how do you
Yeah.
get everybody on the team to buy in?
That's a good question.
I think this leans back to PV though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one, you got to set the expectation from day one. And the thing that PV did was whether you were averaging 25 a game, if you were the last man on the bench, if you were the lowest ranking manager in the locker room, everyone was valued. And he told everyone how much he valued them almost every day. And it was y'all know this. It's from the top down. Like if Jamie Dixon don't come to practice locked in, how are y'all going to be locked in? You know? And he's one of the best coaches in college hoops. So like y'all know this, and every day the expectation was the line, and that line did not move. It might have gotten further away actually, but between all of the talent we knew we had, the work ethic that we had, and then that senior year, it was player led. Like, and part of that is because PV was suspended and we didn't have him in that locker room. Coach Ford stepped up and did a great job. He was actually up for like coach of the year that year. And I mean, he did a great job, but that team was player led. And it was me in the forefront. It was Ron in the forefront, KJ, Eric. It was all of us making sure that everyone else was on the same page. I mean, we had something like 9 seniors.
You did.
So we were all laser focused. So I would say getting everyone to buy in, well, everyone needs to know what the mission is. Winning state wasn't good enough for us after my sophomore year. It was like if we winning state is a byproduct of us being who we're supposed to be.
That's so crazy that they just like, and like, not even like to dismiss it, because obviously you guys are like hyper focused on it, but it's just like, this is what we're supposed to do. We have to do this.
Well, the goal was to put pressure on the UIL to make us play in Geico Nationals. It was, they had never done. They had never. We would have won. I fully believe we would have won.
Montverde, I mean.
We had beaten Montverde our junior year. I'm going to go ahead and say that's the best Duncanville team ever.
Your junior year team?
Yes, with AB, that 22 team. We were ridiculous. Our whole starting 5 was 6'7" up.
Nah, facts though.
Like, and if we had a healthy CJ Ford, because he was hurt, bro. Like, you played with C, like he could play. So
I mean, if with a lot of them dudes,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like our team was ridiculous. So our winning state was cool, but that was baseline. If we didn't have a state championship caliber team, it was like we failed. So that was our baseline. We wanted to put pressure on the UIL to let us play in Geico Nationals. And unfortunately, we never got to that point, but we deserved it, though, for sure.
So that senior year team, you talk about the baseline being above kind of winning state. You guys are trying to travel, go undefeated, beat teams like Montverde. I've seen you talk a little bit about the Westland game. I want to hear about it a little bit more just from a perspective of, because I feel like, you know, in terms of doing everything you could, the 2 years you guys were eligible for state championships, at your time, you won them.
Yeah.
You know, you had the COVID year. You had...
so that the COVID year was like my third.
Right.
But I go back and forth on whether or not to count that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But winning 3 sounds a whole lot better than winning 2, so I just say I won
And then
3.
it's like, you only got the chance to win 2, and you won them.
Yeah.
You didn't win the one senior year. Okay, who's going to really win that if you guys go?
I mean, it was either us or Lake Highlands anyways. So, and we gave Lake Highlands the blessing because we knew early. But we had beaten Lake Highlands by double digits. So it was apparent who the best team in the state was.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, I mean, that was the baseline, man, was we had to be state champions. And not only that, it was like, if we don't win the state championship by 15, 20, like, then we're not Duncanville. Yeah.
So now I want to hear about, you know, you guys going out there to Westland, what happened in that game. I'm a little bit familiar with Mookie, and obviously from playing against him, I saw, you know, Shellstad, whatever he had. And I know he had a crazy game against you guys. So what was that like?
Okay. Shellstad, I didn't know who he was before we played.
He nice.
Brody's not. Yeah, I knew who he was after. Yeah. I knew who he was after. Yeah, bro. That Westland game. All right, I'm going to get a little pissed off right here. So we are undefeated up until that point. We had beaten Stefan Castle.
I watched that game.
We had beaten, which he gave us the business
40.
to. He had 40. We won because we fouled him out. Point blank
God.
period. We would have lost that game, but we beat him.
Top 5 pick, though.
So like we go beat them. We had beaten a lot of talented teams. And so we played this Westland game. First off, there was so much wrong with this trip. It was right after we had gone to the Bahamas. and we were already dead from the Bahamas.
Y'all going to the Bahamas is crazy.
Best trip of my life.
As a high school player.
Best
we
trip
gotta
of my
talk
life.
about that next.
Yeah, we will. And so we go to Oregon, and we're there for like 6 days. And it was just a long trip. Like, we're missing, like, school. You're missing
like in
school.
high school, this is crazy.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
y'all,
we were pros, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
y'all
we
are
were
elite
pros.
high school team.
So we're there for like 6 days, and we're playing these teams. It's one game a day, each day, and we're beating 50 ball, 60 ball, 30 ball, nothing intense. We're thinking we're gonna play Sierra Canyon. They ended up losing. I think West Lynn was the team that beat them, actually. And we swore up and down we were going to play Sierra Canyon. Now, mind you, Ashton was on that Sierra Canyon team because he had left my junior year. Bro, you remember me saying this at Houston Hoops. I was like, what are you doing, bro? But anyways, that's besides the point. So I'm like, okay. And we had already played against Bronny and everything. So I'm like, all right, we're going to play Ashton. We're going to play Bronny. Now, like, I don't know what it is, but in my head, mentally, I just, like, tee up for big games. And so we see Westland is going to play, whatever. We're scouting them. You know, didn't see a whole lot. They're all football guys. So we're like, 20-point win.
We should be smooth.
20-point win. Well, day of the championship game comes around. Now, here was the schedule for the whole week. 9 a.m. shoot-around, 12 p.m. lunch, 3 p.m. film session, chill until game. That was the schedule. We were in the hotel.
They got a college schedule.
90% of the day. No, yeah, we watched film on the road. So we would so they make our shoot around. We get a call at like 12, like midnight the night before. And first things first, like coaches took our phones for that trip, which was so bizarre. I know why. I don't know if I can say it on camera, but I know why. But they took our phones for the whole trip. Day of the championship game, we get a call, 7 a.m. shoot around. So we're up at 5:45. Okay, already a problem. 7 a.m. shoot around. We get to the gym. AC doesn't work. Okay, it had worked the whole beginning of the week.
Played though?
The gym was some high school. I don't remember. It was a big high school. But we were shooting around at an elementary school, and AC didn't work that day, which was awesome. So we go and do the 7 a.m. shoot around. We leave, bro. Okay, so we're in Beaverton, Oregon. It's cold in the middle of December, cold, wet, and raining all day. What else is in Beaverton, Oregon? The Nike World headquarters.
Right.
They go and take us on a tour of the Nike World headquarters on the day of the championship game. We walked something like 8 miles, and we couldn't even go in any of the buildings. We went in like 2 or 3 buildings.
So you're just walking around.
So we're walking around outside, wearing hoodie and sweatpants, and we're all cold. Our legs are getting more tired by the second.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, bro, we're there for like 4 hours, and we do this whole thing. At this point, me being me, I'm pissed. I'm like, yo, Ford, we need to go back to the hotel and chill. Like, I don't know why y'all scheduled this for the day of the championship game. Like, we should have done it on day one. When we were playing them sorry white boys. Like, come on, bro. It's funny that I say that as a white boy, but
so we gonna ask you about that too.
Yeah. So like we do this whole thing, and then, bro, the woman who's taking us around is like, yeah, there's a really cool shoe store at this mall a couple miles away. Like, we should go. Our coaches are like, yeah, we'll go. And we're all like, bro. So we hop in the Sprinter vans. We go.
So we hop in the Sprinter van. This is what he's talking about in between.
We go. I understand how crazy this sounds. So we go to the mall. The shoe store was trash, bro. There was nothing exclusive in there at all. It was a normal mall, normal shoe store. And we're there for like 3 hours. And we're walking around this mall, and like no one is locked in on this game. Everyone's doing their own thing. I go up to the food court, and I'm watching film, and I'm eating Sbarro's pizza. Like, I just distanced myself from the team because I was gonna pop off on someone. So like me and Ron, we up there watching film, and then like we go to leave, and I forgot who it was, but we were late leaving because someone wanted to go buy a t-shirt, and we're thinking he's gonna come out with this like sick graphic tee. Bro, he comes out with a plain white Dickies t-shirt, bro. Oh my God, fam. Like at this point, my blood is boiling, bro.
I know people at Duncanville that will wear this shirt, and I'm just hoping like it's
oh my God, bro. Okay, so all right. Game is at like 9:30 p.m., but like we're used to playing obviously at like 7. Now it's 9:30 p.m., but at home it's like 11.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be tired for the game anyways because we're not used to that. It's fine, whatever. Bro, we're leaving the mall at like 6:30. We got back to the hotel with only an hour to chill. We were off our feet for 1 hour. We leave to go to the game, and immediately, like, there was a second gym where we got to warm up or whatever. Well, we hop into our pregame routine. It's all good, whatever. We're locked in on the game now. Except someone during shoot-around had gotten hit in the head with the ball, and he was, like, throwing a fit, and he, like, stormed out the locker room. So, but like he didn't play though, so he like non-factor, whatever. We kept doing our thing.
That's interesting because this happened a lot in high school,
bro. Like for no reason.
The non-main character making it about them. This one thing you gotta know in sports: if you're not the main dude, like last year, as the red shirt dude, as the whatever dude, you gotta chill.
You gotta shut up. But you can't. Yeah. So like we go and we play this game, and we start the game off on like a 12-2 run. We're in it, and I check in and I miss my first shot. Yo, up until that point, all the fans were cheering for us. But that game against that team,
no, it's probably over.
Yo, they were from down the street.
Right.
Like, so I check in, I missed my first shot. I couldn't hear myself think. Everyone is stomping their feet and like yelling and screaming. I'm thinking I'm playing in the Garden. Like, it's intense. And then we play this game. The foul count's like 27-4. And
I saw something where Shellstat only missed like one free throw.
Bro.
How many did he make?
He shot 20 free throws, fam.
Yeah.
How is he going to shoot 20 free throws? Bro,
free throw.
Like Ron fouled out. KJ almost fouled out. Cam almost fouled. Like I almost fouled out. Bro, I don't foul. I give up buckets, but I'm not going to foul. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to foul.
That's real.
Yeah. Like you go get the easy 2, but you're not going to the free throw line. Like, whatever. So,
that's real.
Like, I keep it a buck. So, like, the foul count's 27-6. Bro, we looked after the game. This dude, Shellstat, played all 36 minutes, had 0 fouls. And, like, they had maybe 4 fouls the whole game. And we lost by, like, 8. And I'm over here, like, crying, bro. Because all of the stuff that went into that. Like, we had lost our coach. And the phone's being taken and the championship game day experience. Like, I was already pissed off. You know what I'm saying? I was like and it was like our last chance at an undefeated season, which I had never had. We lost one game each year, 3 years in a row.
Sheesh.
I know. So it was just heartbreaking, bro. Sheesh. Super heartbreaking.
That's crazy. That's heartbreaking for y'all.
Yeah, that's one regular season loss.
Like, dang.
Like,
bro, we felt we deserved it. Like we thought we did, but apparently we didn't. You know. So yeah, I'm not going back to Oregon for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest weather or anything like that either, really. It's kind of mid.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even mid. It's terrible. And maybe I'm biased because of this story, but, like, bro, unless the Trailblazers hire me, bro, like, I'm not going to Oregon, fam.
Did I tell you about when I went to Portland?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's not just the greatest vibes. Like, I went out there and had a really weird
It's sad, bro.
experience. It's sad.
It's sad.
It was depressing. I was out there, like, sad, like, raining, just nothing positive really going
It
down.
reminded me of our trip to West Virginia because it was just like
interesting,
dank and like raining.
Was it snowing on ours?
It snowed when we went to West Virginia.
Who had the snow? K-State?
Yeah, K-State did. Oklahoma did.
Oklahoma snowed? That's interesting.
Was there?
Yeah. Now, that West Virginia game was nuts, though. Their atmosphere is crazy.
It is.
I like the arena.
Yeah,
and we
I
did
do
not
too.
beat them by a lot. Their big man might have had like 30 on us.
Y'all beat them? That's nice. We lost at West Virginia. I'm talking the whole crowd singing.
Yeah, people pack out for y'all. They didn't pack out for us like that.
No, for y'all got everybody's best performance. We doing all these promotions, bro, before the UT game. We got Dixon all on the IG page. Me and him even all on the IG page just to get beat at home, bro. Heated.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, I was sitting in the stands watching that game. Obviously, I'm cheering for us, but the whole game, I'm thinking y'all gonna win. Like
that's what it was looking like until the last.
Until Max started making heavy
bro. Okay, that
contestants.
was okay, after playing a year with Max, who was truly one of the best scorers in college hoops, but he really turned it on the last 2.5 minutes of every game. It would be like, bro, Max, you only have 8 points. What are you doing? And then he finished with like 22. It's just such a weird player,
that is
man.
Exactly how
such
our
a weird
game
player.
went.
That's every game. That's Cincy. Bro, we almost lost at Cincy, and he had a game winner. And then Louisville in the Garden, game winner. Like, that was just Max, dude.
So
Max is a different cat, though.
you got these dudes you play with, you know, Anthony Black, Ryan, Max. You play with a bunch of dudes that were nice. I think we skipped past it a little bit. Kind of tell us about, you know, some of the coaches that you've had throughout your career. Talk about, even though, you know, Beard didn't coach you at UT, what your relationship was like with him. Because from the outside looking in, it seemed like you really like kind of
Dude,
the way he thinks ball.
I would have loved playing for Beard. I already know. Now, I've heard crazy stories, which I honestly respect, because I feel like if you're going to be a successful college coach, you have to be crazy.
You do have to.
Yeah. Like, the good ones are all like batshit crazy. Like, that's just how they are. But like, I respect that though. Like,
Right.
I'm sure Dixon like gets into it.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. But dude, I would have loved playing for Beard just because I know he cared about all of his guys and really wanted the best for him. He was a heck of a motivator, which PV was. PV pulled out a clipboard once my whole high school career. Like, he never. If I saw PV with a clipboard, it was like, whoa, like something really must be wrong. But he was just a motivator.
Another crazy luxury to have.
And he
Coach
just
don't need clipboards.
We didn't run plays though.
I know you're not running plays.
It was straight dribble.
They dribble down the court and
It
just
was
cooking
straight dribble
somebody.
drive, bro. It was like, who wants to score this possession? Like, raise your hand. So, and then most of the time it was Ron was going to drive in. If the help came, he was going to kick to me. If I had the shot, cool. If I didn't, I'm swinging it to Eric. Eric's going to hit it.
There's
that
too
was the
many
whole
people to
offense.
account for that
Yeah.
just for doing what they needed.
Yeah. See, bro, and that right there is why I get so frustrated with looking at my high school career, because we had so many dudes, and yet every team wanted to have someone in my jersey 94 feet. Why? Why are we playing 4-on-4? Get off of me so I can score, bro.
That's interesting.
Y'all had JB on me the whole game. I'm like, he's one of y'all's best on-ball defenders. Why is he guarding me, bro?
Though. Our matchups were interesting this game. We went into it with a unique approach that I think was pretty good. But our main problem matching up with you guys is we didn't have a KJ Lewis matchup. He had 10 O boards on us.
Bro, he's probably the best rebounding guard I've ever played with.
He is.
Yeah, he's elite.
And he's big, he's physical, he understands
He's going to the
himself.
league, bro.
I believe so too.
He's going to the league.
It's just about like his body. One is insane in terms of, well, pause.
Wow.
You know,
You
it
always
is what
talk
it
about
is.
something.
Talk that talk, Zay.
No, but like, just it is what it is, bro. Like, you're a shooting guard. You 6'6", you're strong, 40-inch vertical, and he's figured out how to just like use that God-given ability and pivot everything off that.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, I was talking with CJ about Dalton Connect. It's like, man, if I was 6'7",
Bro, it'd be crazy.
I would be a different cat if I was 6. Like, with my shooting ability, I hate that I'm 6'1", bro.
Tyler 6'7".
Tyler 6'6".
Who's Tyler? Tyler
Lumblade. He was a walk-on. We
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
You give me flashes of Tyler. He's a in the gym dude. Y'all probably got the same haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll hit that gym
I ain't
at
seen him in a minute,
540.
but yeah, nah.
He
I'm
was hitting the
always in the
practice
gym.
too.
But. So yeah, you were asking about the coaches. Obviously PV is, I think, the best coach that I've ever played for,
Right.
hands down.
Can he coach a college team?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, absolutely he could.
I was talking to my dad about that.
Because he makes really good hiring decisions, which I think is something that people don't realize about coaching is you control who's on the staff. And the people that you hire are just as important as who you are as a coach, because like, you have to understand if I'm a coach, right? I'm not a defensive guy. So if you put me in charge of defending, we might be last in the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm going to go hire a guy who is older and has a defensive mindset. And guess what? He's going to run the defensive part of practice.
Well, you didn't play against Duncanville. Put into perspective how many coaches you guys had.
We had
for
5.
high school.
We had 5.
Like, bro, I have 2
We had
coaches.
5 plus 2 skills trainers.
I have 2 coaches.
Yeah,
they bench. The first, 8 seats of the bench are just coaches.
Bro, and it's crazy because it made me look sorry because I would sit at the front of the bench. But it was 9 seats down. So it was like, bro, why am I sitting at the end of the bench, bro? Like, this is trash. But yeah, I mean, we had hella coaches. We just had a lot of people buying into us. not even all of them were on our payroll either, which was crazy. Like people volunteering their time to be with us and like coach us. But yeah, man, I mean, PV, obviously. Ford, he was our assistant who ended up being our head coach my junior year or senior year. He was my AAU coach in 6th grade, middle school coach 7th and 8th grade, JV coach when I was a freshman, and then he coached me all of my varsity years. So I was with him from 6th grade all the way through. Which, man, I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, but dude's intense. Like he was intense. Good coach though. Really good coach. Who else? I mean, I don't know. The best coaches to me weren't the ones who had the best offensive minds. Okay, like Showtime, like Big E. So I had gotten dropped from like all these AAU teams, and I was like going to tryouts, and I just couldn't make a team. And I was just like losing my mind because it was looking like I was going to have to take a year off of AAU. Well, I get a call from, or I see a tryout for Showtime, whatever. I go, Big E's there, and Coach Mo, who ended up being my coach, was there. And he, both of those guys were just like, yeah, we see something in you. And y'all know I played with Showtime for
which I played
all the way from 7th
grade
grade all the way until I came and played with the Houston Hoops, which Coach Mo Taylor, like, really might be one of the best coaches I've played for because he has the mind for the game, but the buy-in was also crazy too. So, yeah, I've been fortunate to play for really good coaches, but the best ones weren't even high IQ coaches. They were just, man, you just wanted to run through a brick wall for them.
Fact.
Like I say this all the time. If like PV could call me at 2:00 in the morning and I'd help him bury a body, like for sure I would.
No, but like these are genuine people you trust a lot.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Yeah,
I would if
I
like
just
I
never
would
heard that
trust.
reference, but I hear you.
Yeah, like well that's the
Yeah.
people that are in my circle, which is like 4 people. All of those 4 people are like I would go and like cover up murder for them, like really. But that's not a privilege that like just anyone gets, you know.
Right.
But I spent so much time with PV. We still talk to the like. I go up there just to hang out with PV, like after practice.
I mean, he's a cool dude. Like even I never
he's the
played for
best.
D-ville, but he's giving me stuff like during games. He kind of like recognizes who's probably gonna progress and get to a certain level out of the area and invest in them. Just as like a DFW basketball guy. The reason why I wanted to ask you this though is because I was looking up some stuff about you. I saw you're the oldest of like 5 siblings. So you've been in kind of a leadership role. You talked about leading Duncanville.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself as a basketball thinker getting into coaching, trying to put lineups together, trying to replicate some of this stuff? Because I feel like when guys have been coached by good coaches, it makes you a player coach and kind of can send you in that direction.
I think I would make a good coach. I'd rather own the team. Like I'd rather make hiring decisions as opposed to roster decisions. And that's actually PV's fault. I told him, maybe one day I want to be like a high school or college coach or whatever. He was like, dude, Jack, like you're a different cat. Like anyone else can go be a high school or a college coach. Like you're gonna be. He put the idea in my head of being like the youngest GM ever, which I was telling you guys like that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's fire.
Yeah, I mean, but now it's even more than that. It's like I want to own the team. Like I want to hire the GM. And the real reason is, one, I don't want to work for anyone else when I'm older. Like I don't want to do that. And then 2, like I don't ever want to be in a position where I can get fired. I'd rather spearhead it. Also, when it comes to like technical stuff, I'm not the best, but visionary and like helping people buy in, I have good people skills.
Right.
But when it comes to like getting things done, I'm not always the best, but I know I can bring people around me who help with that.
Who do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. So like,
Good lane.
I mean, I could coach. I think I would be a really good coach, but I want to own the team, bro.
Okay. That's interesting. What do you see yourself doing? Is it with basketball kind of, after? I feel like he's came on and brought a lot of stuff that we didn't even have time to talk about, what we've really been doing.
Like what I
what you want to do, like just later in life, like when you're your dad's age, he coaching in the NBA. What do you imagine yourself doing?
I'm not quite sure what
James,
I do.
man.
Yeah, shout out James Posey. But I do. I mean, yeah, I would like to play basketball or be around the game and see the world. So if I could see the world in a great way and not do basketball, that's chill. I would like to have a family and just visit this place every other month and just see the world.
That's respectable.
Just living on a cruise ship, bro.
Not a cruise ship. Cruise ships are cool, but I can't live on a cruise ship.
People do it though.
People
do it though.
Are you familiar with Maya Moore?
I feel like I've heard of that.
She was a WNBA player, really good, and she kind of cut her career a little bit shorter than people wanted, just to really invest in her family. And I love what she's done in terms of seeing the vision that she wanted for her life. So since we're talking about the WNBA now, did you guys see, the recent rankings or whatever for the Rookie of the Year?
Don't get me started on
rage
this, bro.
baiting, bro?
That has to be rage bait, bro. It has to be rage bait.
I want to ask a question.
Oh my god!
Just about this because I want to keep just strict perspective basketball. I think the problem with women's basketball right now is that a lot of people are coming in with perspectives that aren't about hoops and are about the things that don't matter. About strictly hoops, what's your opinion on rookie races, NBA races for like MVP and all that stuff? Just really any of it. Because, I personally think that Caitlin Clark is the best rookie in the league. I think that Angel Reese is a good player and gets a lot of hate that she shouldn't get. But I just think that the comparative narrative that's being pushed is probably the worst thing that could happen for that.
Here's what I think. When I look at what happened in the college football playoff last year with Florida State having a perfect season and getting booted. Why? Because they weren't the best team. They weren't one of the best 4 teams. Like that's the argument, and that was true.
Right.
I look at the WNBA rookie race, and I think whoever should win Rookie of the Year should be the best rookie, which I think most people who play basketball and understand the game of basketball know that it's Caitlin Clark. I think Angel Reese I think she does her job well. I don't think she's a good basketball player.
I think this might be the point where I disagree.
Yeah. I think it's just hard because I see her having these big rebounding games.
Right.
She'll have 14 rebounds, 15 rebounds in a game, but 9 of them are offensive rebounds off of her own missed shots, which she's got that dog in her. And, of course she deserves to play and she deserves to get all this money and all this attention and stuff. And she's definitely the second best rookie. But to say that she's a better basketball player than Caitlin Clark, I don't know.
See, and this is the part that I hate about it because I agree. I think that Caitlin Clark is a better player, but when you make it comparative, you don't appreciate what you have in front of you. And so the problem is that we talk about Angel Reese. Oh, Caitlin Clark's better. Well, you're not acknowledging that you have a rookie out here that's averaging a double-double in the All-Star game. And I hate that part of it because, I personally do think that Angel has game. She rebounds the ball extremely well off whether it be her own misses or teammates' misses or whatever. And the defense and intangibles that she brings are nice. But I think that it's just hard to be compared to somebody like Caitlin Clark.
Right. See, and this is the argument. It's the argument between skill and talent versus competitor.
Right.
Now, we all know Caitlin's a real competitor. Angel Reese won national championships.
Facts.
She's a winner. So, yeah, I mean, I've heard people say crazy stuff like she doesn't deserve to play in the WNBA.
Come on, bro.
That's wild. Okay, hold on. Winning has a place.
Yes.
Winning is valuable.
And
she's a winner.
Their team, I saw a stat the other day that I think their team, metrically along the WNBA, is one of the bottom teams when she's not on the floor, one of the top teams when she's on the floor. And so, she has this impact. And I just think as eyes get drawn towards the WNBA, it needs to be more positive. It kind of feels like everything is competition. It don't even feel like pushing up the player they're a fan of. It just feels like, I like Caitlin Clark, so Angel Reese sucks. I like Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark sucks.
That's a very closed-minded way to look at basketball, though. That's like saying I like LeBron, therefore I'm a Curry hater. That's dumb. That's just an ignorant way to look at basketball. So I mean, when I look at Caitlin, I look at what Steph did for the NBA, and because I think I said this with you. We like Caitlin because she's going to dribble across half and pull this joker.
Right.
Angel's not doing that. Which is why I think a lot of people love Caitlin. That and off the court, Caitlin doesn't do a lot of talking off the court.
Right.
Whereas Angel, she
big personality.
Yeah, big personality, and a lot of people are threatened by that. I love it though.
Facts.
I'm a social media guy. I love that.
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it too. And it's interesting because even with older players, you talk about Asia Wilson, and I'm just ignore this stuff where people be like, Angel's an MVP over her or whatever. I feel like that's just trolling. But it's like with the way that people approach women's basketball, you have to approach it differently to men's basketball. You're talking about, I want to see this player because it's more or less entertaining. But when you go to women's basketball, you're not going to see dunks. You're not going to see lobs. You're looking at basketball as a purity-based sport and trying to see good basketball. So as a, Las Vegas Aces fan, I love Asia Wilson. Big shout-outs to her. And I think that, people just got to keep trending towards the sport. I think I love where it's going. And I hope, you get into this Creator League stuff. You see the co-ed side of that and kind of just continue to incorporate women in sports because I love where it's going right now.
So, yeah, I love where the WNBA is going. I think it deserves the recognition it's getting. I don't like the narrative, though, like putting them up against each other because it's like two different types of players. That's like putting up Kyrie Irving against a Joel Embiid. Two very different types of players. So, yeah.
But when it comes time, like in the NBA for the MVP race, like you usually have these players at different positions. So if we're gonna not look at them,
I think there are some circumstances where you have to compare. Like there has to be a Rookie of the Year. There has to be a this. But I think that just for the consistent narrative to be only about who's better, that's what creates the negativity for me.
Well, a lot of it is stats based, which I think that's also small minded because you can have someone who averages 30, but they're on a losing team.
Right.
If you don't contribute to winning, I don't think that you should be Rookie of the Year, Because at the end of the day, it's a business. The teams that win the most draw the most attention. Right. So, I think if you're on a winning team and like a Rookie of the Year type thing, like I love Tyrese Maxey. And it's obviously he's one of the better players in his draft class, but he just contributes to winning so well. It's hard not to love him. So, yeah, you definitely have to. You have moments where you have to compare players.
Right.
But comparing players of different positions from different eras, that's just like...
Yeah, that's what I hate about the Bron Jordan thing, too.
Well, like J.J. Redick said it best. If he played against Bob Cousy, right? Like, he'll tear Bob Cousy up in one... Like, he's frying Cousy. But is he one of the greatest players ever? Yeah. Like, he's one of the greatest guards ever. So that's why I bring up the Bron Jordan argument, like who's the best player versus who's the greatest player. And then if you ask who changed the game the most, well then it's like that debate I think is between Curry and Jordan.
Curry. I agree.
Yeah.
And I think these are the conversations you got to have around basketball because when you simplify it and over-reduce things, it just makes it too difficult. Like there are a lot of parts of it that need to be talked about with Bron and Jordan. I like the greatest versus best argument, and I honestly agree with you because I think three-peating twice is greater than what Bron has done in some categories. But I think that if you're looking at just who plays basketball the best, like as a basketball thinker, you're watching LeBron and you're amazed by what he's doing. So I just think it's about them conversations being different, with the W, with the NBA, whatever. Because I think if they shifted it towards, who's the best rookie big or who's the best rookie guard, now we don't have these questions.
Facts. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just like having open-minded basketball conversations because a lot of people just get very small-minded when they talk about players and stuff. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
Are you a Twitter guy?
Man, not really. I go to Twitter for entertainment. I think I love what Elon's doing with the platform, but as far as me posting content on there, not big on it. It's just because I'm appealing to guys our age, and most of them aren't on Twitter like that. Most of them are on TikTok, Instagram. So that's pretty much where I spend most of my time. And then YouTube because, well, one day I plan on making some good money from YouTube. So
yeah, we be trying to invest in our YouTube right now. With this podcast. So
consistency, bro. Consistency. That's the number one thing. You gotta. 90% of podcasters don't make it past episode 1. Y'all already did that. Only 1% of podcasters make it to episode 21. So gotta get to 21, bro. For me, the race is to 50 now because I'm already at 20. So race is to 50.
That is a very concrete, good goal. I think that's what we need you to get on here and do.
Yeah. Well, I need good guests like y'all. So
facts. So I'm looking forward to getting on.
No doubt.
For your podcast. Appreciate you coming on to help us today and kind of just give us a little bit of your insight and your story.
Before we end, though, I have 2 questions for you. If you were gonna play a 2v2 match with a creator, what creator would you want?
Yeah,
on your
we need a
team?
call out. We need a creator league call
One
out.
creator and team and one
Right
creator
now.
you want to play.
And this
against.
gonna be clipped out. We
play
need this.
against. I'm playing against Cam Wilder.
Okay.
For obvious reasons.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I think I want to play with J-Dub and I want to play against Tristan Jazz and Cam Wilder.
That's a nice matchup.
Yeah,
see that.
I think
we gotta
that
step
would be
that.
like the best possible creator matchup. Because Tristan Jazz does a lot of cool stuff on social media, but I'm a better basketball player. So,
What's the final score?
what
Y'all
are we going to? 21?
21.
I think it's gonna be close. I'm gonna say 21-16.
Okay.
21-16.
Okay.
We win. Yeah.
You know, if they go back to this clip, if our podcast
J-Dub
gets to be the
hoops
clip
for
they
real.
go back to,
Yeah.
when y'all win 21-6, that'd be, hey,
Yeah,
that'd
bro,
be nice.
it's gonna blow up. Just
J-Dub
because
does hoop, though.
No,
This
J-Dub
knows-
hoops for real.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
yeah, no, that's why I want to play with him. And then playing against Cam, I think that would just do so good for social media.
Facts.
Like, yeah.
I mean, we saw what Quincy's doing with social media.
Yeah.
Quincy Hellcell, he's been working alongside Cam. And I feel like I saw kind of with you and him where I was like, dang, Jackson went from no gram to 10K in a day to this much in a day. He kind of did that same thing. So I think connecting with that dude.
Well, man, I actually think Cam's a genius. I love what he's doing for himself. I think he's very smart in that. But man, I called him out to get a response. You know what I'm saying? But now that I know that I'm like worthy of a response, as a creator, I have a different type of mindset now. Because it's like, okay, like he can say my opinion doesn't matter, but he made a video that got 1 million views on it. So like he didn't do anything but blow my page up. Like I'm chilling. And I got a bunch of 15-year-olds telling me some crazy stuff.
Oh,
bro,
no,
but-
because we were just talking about it. We watched one of the RWE videos, bro. They standing at the top of these ledges throwing arm sleeves down. It's 100 kids fighting over arm sleeves. The stand's packed out. It's crazy.
I think they are bringing a lot of energy to it, but it's an R-rated Harlem Globetrotter show, man. That's what it is.
And what I
Could
like-
be correct.
R-rated is facts because he be on there saying whatever.
Wild.
But I like how you kind of are bridging the gap between this content creation and basketball because there is a difference.
For sure.
I hate when, you know, the content creator dude will be like, I will fry this actual hooping dude because it's a different type of thing.
Well, okay. I've played against pros my whole life.
Right.
So, I mean, 5th grade, I'm working out. I played for Mo Williams in 5th grade. I'm working out with him and I'm working out with Terrence Ferguson and like and Raymond Felton was in the gym all the time up there. Like I'm watching these dudes work out. I'm playing at the college level. The worst players on these college teams will fry your favorite creator.
Yes, thank you.
Like,
This is- bro.
and I spend a lot of time around NBA guys. I worked out with DeLon Wright. Most people watching this probably won't even know who DeLon Wright is. I'm telling you, put him up against whoever your favorite creator is. It's barbecue chicken, bro. Like, and he's a role player. He averages 3 points a game, 4 points a game. Like, there's levels to this.
It's levels.
And I've seen both sides of it now, so I'm very much. That's why I have a good sense of who I am as a basketball player, because I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna beat this NBA guy or this NBA guy,
Right.
but when I look at creators, I'm like,
You could beat him.
I'll give this dude
Right.
buckets, like, because I actually hoop, like, and I actually got paid to hoop. So, yeah, I mean, now it's, but yeah, no, I think I like how you put that, like bridging the gap between.
Right. And I like the call out too, because I feel like, we get this clip going, people start to see that, it gets some turmoil, get your pages going, and hopefully you get to play these games. Because I'm on the same side of, I feel like anybody coming from that, I don't want to diminish what social media basketball is, but I'll just say, coming from that real basketball side of it, I feel like they frying anybody.
Yeah.
That's doing that.
Most of them. And like I played against, there's this really big creator in Austin, good friend of mine. This guy's Smooth. And he played for like this Ukrainian national team and he's doing FIBA 3x3 and doing like the dunk competitions and stuff. Really, really good creator. And he's also a good basketball player. But after talking with him, like he knows he's not NBA caliber player. And like I played ones with him and like he beat me, but it was close. And this guy played pro for a long time. So like I just understand what the gap actually is. And like he played against J-Dub. I think he actually beat J-Dub in ones. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like I know where I stand based on these matchups, you know. And J-Dub's a better player than me, but largely due to athleticism.
I mean, you can't control that side of it.
Yeah. Man, I've tried. I've tried to control it. I need some Captain America juice, bro.
I like the angle that you've taken with like the, you don't have the natural size and athleticism, but like trying, giving effort, focusing on I'm the knockdown 3-point guy, the team player guy, because you are the more common mold. Like there's gonna be way more 6-foot white kid that want to be 6'6" coming through trying to figure out how to hoop in this world than just a 6'8" with a 40-inch vert.
Well, I learned it early. The only way I can get on the court is if I do my job.
Right.
And like. That's really all it's ever been is you got to do your job. And y'all know this. Yeah. Like y'all were some of the top high school players in your class and y'all still ended up redshirting. That's just the reality of the situation. You're never going to get on the court if you can't do your job. Yeah. So I was fortunate to learn that from PV early, like freshman year.
Because like people don't realize that in high school. Like, they always want to do somebody else's job.
People don't realize it in college. I'm looking at it with our team right now and how focused you and I have been on certain things. Like McNeely says, boom, our ball pressure isn't good enough for our guards. Jace in the last week of practice has been trying to focus on just ball pressuring everybody. That's a job. He says guards get better at this. You like, all right, if I want to play, I got to get better at it because I'm a guard.
Right.
They telling me I got to go get as many offensive rebounds as possible. I'm just running in there, throwing my arm in there, trying to catch the ball every time. And it's like when dudes get too focused on, like everybody want to say, let me get to my shit. Like, you get into your shit. That's not going to get you on the court.
Bro, this whole... Does he have a bag culture?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And these dudes really think that's how basketball is played. Right. Like the guys who go make millions of dollars a year are not the ones with bags. 95% of the NBA is all role guys, most of which y'all have never heard of.
Facts.
But I'm up at Duncanville and literally the last dude on the bench from the Phoenix Suns, I'm watching him work out. I don't even remember his name, but I'm watching him work out. And what is he doing? Catch and shoot threes.
Facts.
For an hour and a half, it's just different types of catch and shoot threes. And I've talked to him afterwards. I'm like, hey man, like out of curiosity, how much you make? He's like, man, like 2.75. Like, man, what?
Money.
Like we can switch jerseys right now, bro. Like you make $3 million a year
to simplify it.
To do your job. And when he gets in, if he gets to get in, he does his job. And he gets paid $3 million a year to do it.
I think E-Man Miller could do that too.
And this is what I was saying. Like, nobody's saying,
he's going to be fine.
Oh, his bag is crazy. Yeah. People are saying, if anything, his bag is weak. He's scoring 20 points every time, bro. It's about angles. It's about production. It's about the black and white of the game, not who got the better dribble moves.
Bro, I look at guys like, and then even the best college players, a lot of them don't do well in the pros because, well, I mean, a number of different things. It's what position you going to play? Can you do that at the pro level? Perfect example, Drew Timme. Best footwork in college basketball. Player of the year all these years and like certified star in college hoops. And like, yeah, and like he's struggling to play in the G League. And it's like, and that's really, and now a lot of people are saying, oh, well, that's because he was never that good. Bro, he was having 30 on your favorite college hoopers, like on a nightly basis. Yeah. Like I watched them play against Texas. Timmy's frying. And like we saw him because we're in Dallas.
Facts.
It's like, dude was different. But
yeah, people don't get the
you struggle, man. You struggle. That's why you don't see guys like, I mean, I hate to say it, but guys like Terrio. Like one of the best bags I've ever seen. And like, he's struggling to find a spot because of the off-court stuff, but one of the best hoopers I've ever played with. And when he got to Texas, what happened? He had to reduce his bag, and he was really had to do a lot of catch and shoot stuff. But by the time the tournament came around, he had a huge role on that team and playing in the Elite Eight game and having all these shots made. He had like 15, 20 against Miami off of almost straight threes. So like, when you look at it like that, this dude was a McDonald's All-American. Starting on the All-American team, killing. Craziest bag I've ever seen.
Facts.
Gets to college, oh, shoot, I got to learn how to shoot the three ball.
The same thing with like a dude like Ernest. Yeah. McDonald's All-American, like he gets to college and it's a different role. And I think people just don't realize like the levels. I mean, it's going to change. You in high school, you a talented player like Terrio. you pretty much get into whatever you want to on a high school dude. But when it's a grown man in front of you whose goal is to make the NBA and he really serious about it, that's going to change everything.
Yeah. Like when you bring in the fact of like putting food on the table for your family, like you think DeMar DeRozan going to let, like when Ron faces up against these dudes, like I don't know that DeMar DeRozan is just going to let Ron do what Ron does. We going to see.
Yeah.
Like I think Ron is going to stick in the league, but for reasons other than what he does as a player. Like he just thinks like a pro.
And that adaptability piece is big too. I think just guys in Texas get the ability to play alongside other good players their entire life. And so like I was on that Drive Nation team that I tell people this all the time, you know, obviously Ron's the only one in the league right now. I really think we had like 4 NBA players on that team.
Yeah.
Like I really think that I have a chance. I think that KJ Lewis is like primed.
Yeah.
You know,
he's
like
ready to go.
The situation that he has. And so it's just like we had dudes on that team. You playing alongside these guys that are nice, you're going to learn how to be a pro. When you're playing with
you have
AB,
no
you
other
learn.
choice.
Facts.
Like people look at my story all the time. They're like, "How come? Why did you get to play college basketball?" Well, because I played with college. I was playing with and against college hoopers from day one.
You either get good enough or
the
just
best
leave.
ones, and I actually got to play. So I do exactly what I do every single game against college guys. Well, obviously, I'm going to go play college ball.
Right.
Like that just makes sense, you know? Yeah. The whole I have a bad culture is just these kids gonna have a rude awakening, man.
I'm glad we talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think
it drives me nuts.
Part, yeah.
Drives me nuts, man.
But it's funny how as soon as you get to college, though, these dudes, like I was in my high school a couple weeks ago, and they're like, you should have saw the drills that Coach Gober was the new coach. You should have saw the drills Coach Gober had us doing. They so weak. He got us rolling the ball to ourselves, catching it and ripping through and doing 2 dribbles. I'm like, bro, that was our warm-up yesterday. Yeah. Like when you learn how important that rip through is and that pump fake, let me get this angle floater is, then you really gonna get how difficult basketball is.
Yeah, bro. We had a lot of drills. We had a drill at Texas called Good Shot, Great Shot, and it was just 4 people outside the perimeter with 3 defenders, and ball would go live, and it was swinging it around. Sure, you might have a good shot, but if there's a guy open in this corner, you better swing it. And like we weren't taking dribbles. It was just swing, swing, skip, swing, swing, skip, skip, swing, bucket.
Good shot, great shot.
And it was like, we're not looking for good shots. We're looking for great shots. And the best shots came when we didn't dribble the ball. So, yeah, I mean, it's like teams like a Colgate, who is not a very well-known school, got a bunch of under-athletic white kids, but they get to go 3 rounds in the tournament, 2 rounds in the tournament because of their style of play. And like, they led the country in least number of dribbles per possession. So, yeah, I mean, kids going to understand because it's that 1% that gets to go to the league. Outside of that, you got to find where you fit in.
Facts. So I'm glad you can, continue to bridge that gap because as we start to put more stuff in the media as hoopers, people got, start to get a feel for this and what it looks like. So that's good. And just appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So make sure that you guys go watch my stuff. It's called The Sideline Show. You can find me on my Instagram. It's Jackson Prince with no vowels. So JCKSNPRNC. That's Instagram, TikTok. And then my YouTube is @JPrinceOfficial.
And he got that. See, this is the media train.
Yeah.
He know how to list all that.
Oh,
out.
man. I'm in it, man.
So,
Well,
okay.
Brett, dude.
Facts. Shout out to Britt.
Shout out to Brett.
Shout out to her. She just got a job off of that.
Yeah.
And,
Washington.
Just if it's any closing things you kind of want to say outside of maybe your pod, just whatever you want to say to our viewers.
Yeah, man. I mean, first and foremost, appreciate y'all having me on. I'm really trying to get on other people's podcasts currently. So, if y'all are watching this and y'all run a podcast, hit me up. I'm down to be on it. But man, any young hoopers out there, just take my story, take their stories, take what we talked about today, try to figure out a way to implement it in your own life. I promise you'll be so much better off for it. And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all.
For sure. Appreciate you.
Yeah.